Bushcraft 412, and I want to do a real quick video on a neat piece of gear for those really budget-minded people out there. I came across this, little history. I've always kind of been a backpacker. I started out in life as a Boy Scout and backpack with heavy military surplus gear, and as I got into my 20s, I really got into lightweight backpacking, ultralight backpacking. And this is one of those items that a lot of people use who are into ultralight backpacking. And this is the Walmart grease pot. If you look on backpacking forums, you'll see a lot of information about this. They were pretty popular for quite a few years now. And Walmart stopped carrying them for a bit, so it kind of fell off, but they're carrying them again. And I have a couple of the older style ones. They've actually undergone a little bit of changes over the years, but this is a newer style I just bought recently. And if you're looking for them, you can get them in Walmart. They carry them, let's see, where the silverware is. Not with the pots and pans, but where the silverware is. And they're like $5.99. Very cool little item. And I believe Target has their own version as well, just a little bit different. People like these because the weight, these things are incredibly light. They're made of really thin aluminum. Very durable, nice item. And they've been kind of a mainstay of ultralight backpackers for quite a mainstay. Funny, no pun intended there with the Walmart brand. They've been something ultralight backpackers have used for a while. And this is something I use, of course, as a backpacker. But now, as I've gotten into prepping, it's something I also use as part of my preps. Because this is like, you know, one of the lightest and most efficient cook kits out there. Let's talk about it real quick. Number one, you got a nice good handle on it. So this is something you can put right in the fire, and you don't need oven mitts or anything like that to get it out. You can just grab it right out with a pair of gloves. It's aluminum, so usually the handle doesn't get too incredibly hot. The top actually fits very snugly, as you can see. We'll put that back on. The top is very snug, so you don't have to worry about the top falling off. And, as you can see here, the little rubber stopper that's on the top, if you're worried about that melting in the fire, you can actually just unscrew that and replace it with a cork or a piece of wood, or maybe even just put like a long bolt through there or something. But you can easily replace that if you are worried about the rubber melting. Neat feature, but you don't even need this top, actually. You can throw it right away. This didn't come in the older grease pots, but with the modern grease pots, it comes with this strainer, which makes a very good lid for when you're putting it on the fire, because, as you can see, it's vented. So it lets, you can put it in the fire with water, it'll let the steam out. So you don't have to worry about the top blowing up or popping off or anything like that. So it is kind of neat. Plus you can kind of, you know, you can tell when it's bubbling. You'll see, you know, water kind of coming up through the holes, and neat little item. Plus, I know I did kind of a quick review on this in one of my backpacking videos. I just kind of talked about this thing for a second or two. But you can also make coffee with this strainer as well. I know people have used it as a percolator. So neat little use to it as well. Once you get in there, it's just a normal thing. It's actually quite large in size. I don't know if there's a... There it is. 1.5 quart capacity. So it's actually pretty large. And as for durabilities, you know, there's a little flex to them, but they're not something that's going to crush in your backpack. They're definitely strong enough. And I do have a couple of these where I've actually cut the handle off with a pair of tin snips and then kind of sanded it down with a Dremel so it wouldn't be so sharp. So I do have a couple of these without the handle, because the handle is riveted on, so you just can't pull it off. But I do have a couple without the handle for backpacking, so it saves a little space. But the ones I keep around the house, actually, you know, like I said, I have 4 or 5 of these around, because in an SHTF scenario, if you do have to bug out or something like that, I don't have 5 mess kits for people in my family. I don't have that. But, you know, I have a bunch of these, and these are like little ready-made mess kits. You can boil water in them. You can cook food in them. They're lightweight. They're cheap. And from using these for years, I've actually been using these probably 6 or 7 years now. they take an absolute beating. Even if you cook, in the fire with these for a week on end, yeah, they get black and sooty, and they get pretty gross looking. But these are very durable on the trail and are a great way if you have $20 to basically have, a mess kit for your bug out bag. But you can buy enough of these so that everybody in your family has a mess kit as well. And they are tall enough, too, where you can put silverware in them. Actually, what I tend to store in them is I'll tend to store my fire kit. You can put food in there. You can put whatever you want in here. But I take usually, a bag full of dryer lint, maybe a lighter, fire steel, something like that. Put that stuff in here. Any Esbit tablets or things like that I want to keep dry, I put in here because I know they'll be nice and dry inside my pack in this thing. So, cool little piece of gear. And it's something that was very popular, like I said, with backpackers. And I just kind of want to share this with the prepping community because it's a neat thing you can add into your preps and not kill your budget. Because, if you got a family of, 4, 5, 6, 7, however big your family is, and you were trying to do a bug out bag for everybody, mess kits can get expensive. But these are pretty cheap and are neat little multi-purpose items. So, very cool little item, and hope you enjoyed.